What's going on, everybody? So I'm sure those of you who've been watching my channel know I bought a 1911, and they know I was very excited about it, and they know I was very excited to show it off. And a lot of people, especially because right now my video is the only one that's on YouTube about this type of handgun, people are curious how well it works. Well, let's get into it, shall we? I went to the range. I fired 100 rounds of just 45 ACP, just 230 grain ball. The ammunition I used was, let's see if I can zoom in on that. I used 50 rounds of just federal 45 ACP, like American Eagle, and then I used 50 rounds of just Wolf 45. So those of you who live in Canada, you're well aware of Wolf. They use a mixture of brass. Like, I've got all kinds of brass here. I've got Winchester, I've got Starline. What else we got here? S&B. They use all kinds of different brass. Yeah, it was just ball ammo, just getting the gun going. So you're probably all saying, shut up, start telling us how the gun worked. Well, the very first magazine I put through the gun was flawless. The gun ran perfect. Second magazine is when some issues started to show up. Okay, so second magazine, I closed the slide and it didn't go into battery. Now, for a 1911, any knowledge that I have of them is they always need a break-in period. So when you're using a gun like this, you have to assume that the first couple hundred rounds, it's probably not going to be the most reliable firearm in the world. I know there are people out there who don't believe in break-in periods. They don't believe such things exist. I mean, I've seen break-ins with other guns that I've owned, so especially with the 1911, I just assumed that a gun like this is going to need some time to work in and get going. So I was at the range, had the girlfriend helping me out. She was nice enough to film for me. Going through it, I'll roll in some of the footage here that I have and just show you. We were having some malfunctions with the gun. It was jamming on me a bit. The primary malfunction I was having was failure to feeds. So let me show you guys that. So you can kind of see what I was talking about. Is it really did not take much. When I was shooting the pistol, all I had to do was just an ever so slight tap of my hand, and the gun was right back into working. Like, it was as if like the round got hung up just right about here. Let me get the magazine out of there. So the gun stopped when it tried to load right about there. Like, it was just a hair out of battery. Like, the bullet was almost fully chambered. It's just as if there was something stopping it. Now, if you guys, or if any of you watched the first video I put up of this gun, you'll notice that when I racked the gun right about here, it just got really gritty and stiff. You can see it's still a little bit, oops, Daisy, hit the camera. It's still a little gritty, but it was right about there I started to run into some real resistance. And it was also right about there that the gun was having its failure to feeds. So my assumption is the spring just didn't have enough power left over to push the gun and the next round fully into battery. Now, when I did the original video, again, I did complain that the gun was a little gritty. Like, it was definitely very stiff and hard to rack. But now, just after 100 rounds, tilt the camera up a bit here. Just after 100 rounds, it's already getting better. Now, it is still gritty. There is still some grit to it. I can feel it, but it's nowhere even as close to as bad as what it was when I first got the gun. So I'm just going to assume probably another 100, 150 rounds in, this gun's probably going to be a million times smoother than what it was when I first got it. Now, when we got past about the first 60 rounds, the malfunction started to go away. So as the gun got shot more and more, it started to work in more and more. Now, I didn't give the gun a break. Like, I fired all 100 rounds in probably 15 minutes. Like, I loaded mags up, fired it, loaded mags up, fired it, loaded mags up, fired it. I didn't let it cool down. I didn't give it any rest. When I first got the gun, I took it apart, I lubricated it, cleaned her out, got all the old grease out of it, and then I started shooting it, and that's what I did. Now, you're probably wondering, the gun doesn't look all that dirty. I clean my guns after every single range trip. Doesn't matter if I fire 1 round or 100. They get cleaned every time they're at the range. So when I cleaned this gun, it was very dirty. I forgot how dirty 45 ACP really was. Like, it's a very cruddy. There's a lot of carbon built up in there. It's just burnt gunpowder. You'll see in the video, but right around the front here, you start to notice just some burn marks or some black starting to build up. I thought that looked kind of cool, especially with the stainless. How the color started to change on the front. Now, when I got to about the, I don't know, probably my third last magazine, I ran the gun fast. Like, I just did a mag dump, and you'll see in the next piece of footage I'm gonna insert that the gun didn't lock back. I don't know what caused that. You'll see in the footage, my fingers were nowhere near the slide stop, so I'm not sure exactly what caused it to do that, but it didn't do it again. It didn't malfunction like that again, so I'm thinking maybe just part of the break-in, or maybe the slide didn't fully cycle to the point where the slide stop could lock back. I don't know. But I'll show you guys that right now. Now, while we're on the topic of shooting this gun, it's really nice. You know, it shoots very smooth. I was quite surprised. Considering how gritty the gun is, it handles the recoil extremely well. And it just, in general, shoots very nice. It's quite accurate for what I had. I was shooting at a distance of about, I don't know, probably 16, 17 feet, maybe. Well inside what you'd be considered minimum engagement distance for somebody with a knife or a sword or machete, whatever. But I was just trying to test, practical accuracy of the gun, and I was quite happy with it. Now, I'm not a bullseye shooter, I'll admit that right now. I also do apologize, I didn't save the target. A person came in behind me and kind of stapled their stuff up on my target and started shooting before I even packed up my stuff, so I do apologize for that. I will shoot this gun again and get a target and show you guys the accuracy for what I did with it. But the gun itself, it does shoot very nice. I'm very happy with it so far. Now, I got one last little bit of footage I'm going to insert right now, so I'll show you guys that. So you can kind of see the gun itself, as it starts to work in, it seems to be getting a lot better. I'm going to keep playing with it. I'm going to go out and get some more ammo, shoot some more. I'm also going to try some different types of ammunition with this gun. So I'm going to try different types of ball ammo. I'm going to try and get my hands on some of that aluminum case, the CCI Blazer stuff. I'm going to try and run it with that and see how it works. Because I am very curious how this gun's going to run. Because I do intend to run this gun hard for the next little while. I really want to put it through its paces. I want to see if I can fully get it through that break-in period. But so far, I'm not unhappy with this gun. I'm quite happy. I was very scared when I bought this gun. There was no information on them. There was nothing. Now, I'm rambling a little too long here, but I like sometimes adding some educational stuff. I did a little bit of research on the company called Odell Engineering. These are the guys that import this gun. A lot of people, I have a feeling, will be a little nervous about this being a budget Turkey gun. Like, it's made in Turkey, and it's considered to be a budget 1911, at least the ones manufactured by TSOS. So people are probably wondering, well, why is something like this $700? Well, you do have some custom work to it, custom grips, front slide serrations, the custom engraving, you got a skeletonized trigger. Like, you do have some aftermarket parts on here, or not aftermarket, but some better than factory parts and accessories on this gun. But the other thing is the with the research that I did with Odell, they actually got in contact with TSOS, and they had them manufacture the 1911 to their specifications, to Odell's specifications. So this is not technically a TSOS 1911. It's not built to the standards that TSOS produces them. These are built to the standards that Odell wants them at. So Odell sends them like, hey, here's our blueprint. Here's how we want it. Build it. So TSOS, the manufacturing plant TSOS in Turkey, manufactures them to the specifications that Odell wants, not to TSOS specifications. So it definitely helps with the quality of the gun. In case anybody's curious what kind of lube I've been using, Frog Lube, use it on everything, it's phenomenal. But yeah, that's the gun. I am very happy. I know a lot of people have been waiting to see reviews out on these guns before they bite the bullet and buy one. I would honestly say if you're in the market for a good 1911 for a very good price, I mean, a guy commented on my previous video, he said, I nearly blew a load when I saw the price of these. Yeah, me too, brother. It's worth the money. I know you'll see in the video that I had some malfunctions with it. I'm not going to pin that on anything other than the fact it's probably just a break-in period. Because, I mean, I can feel it. Ugh, still stiff. I can feel it. This gun, just after 100 rounds, is so much smoother. I'd say give it another 100, 150 rounds. She's going to be flawless. Thanks, everybody, for watching, and I will see you all next time.